Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the first proper live stream of the 2024-25 season. It's episode 72 of the 72 review. We're hoping that Jonathan and Jake do drop in shortly. They did say that they were going to be on to talk about MK Dons and Sheffield Wednesday, so we will see if they come in. We'll get them on. But for now, you've just got our two lovely faces, myself, and of course, you know him very well, Ian. Welcome to the show once again, Ian. We went through our predictions last week. That got uploaded and I think it got received pretty well. But for anybody new to the channel and new to this show, explain who you are, what you do and why you do it, mate.
Hello, I'm Ian. I'm a 62-year-old Rotherham United season ticket holder that should probably know better. And when the Millers are away, I travel the country vlogging for my own YouTube channel, which is either Eyebrothers or Old Man Ground Hopping. I did one yesterday for Bromley's first league game, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, I just enjoy everything EFL, really.
Good stuff. And as always, get your comments in. It will drive conversation. I've already got quite a few already. Lucy was early at half 12 as I just set the stream up saying hello. ATID already put his 2 pence worth in about Plymouth's disappointing defeat on the road today. He's on the train. It will be poor signal, but he believes that they'll be down before the Christmas decorations go up. He's not even mad, as he's been calling it since Rooney was appointed. So we will get on to Plymouth when we go on to the Championship. But today it'll be League 2, League 1, and then up to the Championship. We've got Chal in. Good evening, Chal. We've got Brad. We're top of the leagues, up the Terriers. So good result for them at Peterborough yesterday. Nathan, not bad guess on the preview for me. He went Rovers 4-0 and we won 4-1. Started we mean to go on. Lucas, good evening. We've got Neil, who's a regular evening as well. He'll be relatively happy with the result that they got. But you mentioned that you went to Harrogate against Bromley. I think that's probably a good place to start. Bromley's first game in the EFL, I believe. Never been here before.
That's why really I wanted to take this one in, because me and Lee went to the promotion playoff final for the National League back in May, and we saw Bromley win on penalties against Solihull. And I thought it's only right that I saw the last game as a non-league side, and I'll take in the first game as a EFL side. Glad I did, actually. It was a comfortable win for Bromley, I would say. I don't think there were much in it first half. Two teams feeling each other out. Not some half chances, no real. Well, the one real chance when a Bromley header from a corner were cleared off the line. But apart from that, not much doing. But really, Bromley turned up the gas in the second half, and they won it quite easily with two really quick-fire goals. The first one from Michael Cheek, who were prolific in non-league. It was a sort of like cross-come shot that he deflected in with his chest in 62 minutes. And then a bullet header from a corner from Grant, who were making his debut. That sort of settled the issue. In our previews, if you remember, Dan, we tipped Harrogate to be probably bottom two, and there's nothing that they showed yesterday to make me change my mind. I think they'll struggle. I think there's a lack of creativity, no lack of work rate, no lack of effort, but quality-wise, I think they're sadly lacking. As far as Bromley are concerned, in the first, I know it was the first game, and it was not the best opposition, but they look strong, they look organised, they look a threat. I don't think they'll trouble the top 7 this season. I might be wrong, but I think they'll survive in the EFL pretty comfortably.
I think that's it. At this level, you mentioned about being organised and strong defensively and physical. I think if you've got those sort of attributes throughout your team, you're gonna hold your own at League 2, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen a lot of League 2 football over the last 2-3 years. And I've seen a lot of successful and not so successful teams. And I think Bromley will fit in comfortably mid-table, might even be top half.
Decent. So we will keep an eye on Bromley. I hope Harrogate do have enough about them to stay up. Like we said in the preview, more local teams, I do like to kind of support them to a certain extent. I hope that they do well.
Yeah, it's the Yorkshire side. Yeah, you don't want them to do badly.
But ultimately, two teams do need to go down. And on early look, Ian's thinking we've picked right with Harrogate. Couple of other good results. I think we'll stay with the teams that came up. Chesterfield was one of the first games to kick off the 2024-25 season, and they kicked it off pretty well, didn't they? Going 1-0 up, and probably should have had a penalty.
They should definitely have had a penalty. That was a nailed on penalty, and I don't know why the ref didn't give it. But I'll tell you something, Dan. What a goal what an equaliser that was from Will Wright.
Yeah.
I mean, I've tipped it as my goal of the weekend. He sort of like megged somebody on the halfway line, started running, kept running to the edge of the box, and then slammed it straight in the top corner. Brilliant goal. Where's Dan gone? Well, we can't go without the host. He's disappeared. It's just me. Hello. Say hello, everybody. Help. What's going on here? It started so well. Please don't let me know you're there. Hello.
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. My camera seems to have just died. So I've had to switch over to a very poor camera. Sorry about that, Ian.
What happened? I thought it was me.
No, it's me. My camera's just given up, and I don't know why. So I've had to switch to the camera that's on my laptop, which isn't the greatest, but hopefully you can still hear me well. And
I can still hear you now. Yeah, that's fine.
And we will carry on with this poor quality video. So yeah, decent result for Chesterfield, but could have been slightly better with with the penalty.
Yeah. But having said that, I mean the remit is not to lose your first game, especially after promotion. So they didn't. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's it. Moving on to my team, Donny Rovers. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see this, so a result like this in the opening game of the season, I was down in London. It was my best mate's engagement party. There's plenty more games to football to watch, but there's not many engagement parties for your best mate, so it was an easy decision to make, but one that I'm frustrated that we played so well in. Watching the highlights, I think Luke Molyneux ran the show. Gibson looks a fantastic signing from Carlisle as well. But yeah, Molyneux's second goal where he just picks it up, 25, 30 yard out, just unleashes it into the top corner. And then Gibson follows up with a lovely strike himself, similar to the Swindon goal where he's picked it up quite deep, sent a player for a hot dog, but he's just caressed it into the top corner. And just a really good performance overall. Didn't really, we got pegged back, but we've kept Accrington to minimal with 3 shots, only 2 on target. We've had more possession. It's a bit disappointing that we've only had 4 shots on target. I know those 4 went in, but to have 13 shots at goal and only 4 on target, I think Grant will look at that and see that there's room for improvement there, and he'll want a better conversion rate in terms of shots on target if we're going to win more games than we lose. But for me, cherry on top was Billy Sharp scoring his 250th league goal. and to get that kind of done and dusted straight away, because I know he was pushing for it when he was at Hull last season and didn't get there. So I think that was something that was potentially on his mind, that he wants to get that done as quickly as possible. So having 10 minutes on the pitch and getting a goal, couldn't be happier with that start. And the table means absolutely nothing, but I think it is worth just having a look, because we are at
nice.
Stop the count. We'll finish the season now.
Yeah.
But no, a fantastic result. The men know excuse. We're wanting to win the league, and it's the best way of starting, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We have got some. Sorry, go on, Ian.
Well, one of the two results that stand out for me, Bradford's win at MK Dons were exceptional. Two teams that have all, they've been talked about in promotion terms, and Bradford, what a start, 2 up after 5 minutes. First one was a screamer, Pattison's goal, and they just kept MK at bay, really. I mean, I know they got back into it with goal from Gilby, but having said that, I mean, game management type wise, I think they did really well. So yeah, that's a good start for Bradford. That.
Thought my mic had gone then. Can you still hear me? My computer.
I can still hear you now. I did actually. Yeah.
I think somebody's put in that it's overheated. Maybe it is too warm and everything's just giving up. We will try and get through it. There's always things to get through. I think Gillingham's worth a chat as well, beating Carlisle 4-1. And just another. I mean, it looks comfortable on the scoreline, but when you look at the 4-1 for Donny versus Accrington and the 4-1 for Gillingham versus Carlisle were in it by the looks of the stats in terms of kind of attempts on goal, possession, but just not clinical enough in the final third, maybe.
Well, it's a lot closer than the scoreline suggests, doesn't it?
Mm.
It looks like they're well in the game until 13 minutes from time. And then Gills pulled away with it. Good result for Gillingham.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 goals in your first game is excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, very good result to start their 2024-25 campaign off.
Yeah.
Is there any other games?
Yeah, just one. Sorry, Dan. Just one. Wimbledon. There were 2 down in no time.
Yeah.
They were 2 down in 10 minutes. And that's hard to come back, isn't it? That's scoring 4. 2-0 down after 9 minutes and 3-2 up at half time.
Yeah, it's not a bad turnaround, that, is it?
Game. Yeah. I think Wimbledon will be okay this season. I think they'll be pushing near the top. Also,
we kind of struggled to place them, didn't we?
We did.
Preview. Yeah. I think did we end up settling just outside at top 7 at the end?
I think so. Yeah, if I can remember, I think I haven't got my notes, but I think I put them at something about 8th, something like that. I think.
Yeah, but they've definitely got potential to break into that top 7. I think.
Yeah, they've got the potential to do it. We are to doubt.
Yeah.
And my team that I tipped as champions, Port Vale, had a good away win at Salford.
Yeah, that's
again another close game.
Yeah, I think I've seen a lot of that this week, where the stats have looked pretty close, but score lines have told a different story. So it'd be interesting to kind of look at the extended highlights as the week goes on and get a bit more feel for what happened for these games. Yeah.
Because the scoreline doesn't tell the full story sometimes. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. But in terms of that, I mean, Lee went to Tranmere against Notts County. And it was one of those games where I think the commentator on the ITV show said that Tranmere did very well last season. They only drew 6 games, I think it was, in the whole of the last campaign. Notts County scored for fun, but also let goals in for fun. And it seems like it's a brand new season and things can change. Notts County have managed to keep a clean sheet, which was unheard of last season. And Tranmere ended up scoring a game, but like I said earlier, mate, it's about not losing your opening game, isn't it? And just kind of building on that.
Exactly. Look at the possession stats in that. Not 66% possession.
Yeah.
Flipping heck. Yeah. But you can have all the possession in the world and not score. I mean, there's teams that do that all over the EFL.
Yeah. Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
But yeah, the teams that have come down, Cheltenham won.
Good result for them.
Yeah. Carlisle obviously got beat. Fleetwood won.
Yeah.
Who was the other team that came down?
Yeah.
Oh, Port Vale. Yeah, Port Vale won as well. So, bit of a mixed bag. Carlisle, the only one to be beaten for the game week. And it's a tough one. We couldn't really quite kind of judge if teams were going to come down and try and consolidate in League Two and build next season or try and bounce straight back. Carlisle have been in the conversation for kind of being up there as one of the teams that are going to potentially bounce back. So they'll want to fix that pretty quickly. But last season, Wrexham and Notts County, I think they got put past them, both of them, on the opening day. And turned out to be a pretty decent season for Wrexham, didn't it? Yeah. So I think, it's only one game. No, don't lose your heads just yet, I think is the message to take away from that. But yeah, we'll not look at the table again because it means absolutely nothing until about 10 games in. But it's nice seeing Donny at the top. Let's move on to League One. We'll get that changed across so it's ticking along the bottom. And is there any games that you want to talk about in League One, Ian?
Well, yeah, Rotherham's game really. Exeter.
Obviously,
I was elsewhere, but from what I've read and from what I've seen of the highlights, it looks like it's a continuation of last season, unfortunately, with the Millers away record being so poor. It looks like Exeter thoroughly deserved to win. We signed 13 players in the summer, and only 4 of them started yesterday, which is amazing, really. But so we were left with 7 of last season's failures, basically, because that's what they were. They were failures, and it didn't look like it worked at all. 1 or 2 of people that I've spoken to said they look like a bunch of individuals that have never played with each other before. So what they're doing on the training field, I don't know. It was just a really disappointing start to the season. And I feel sorry for the almost 900 people that went down there for a 5:30 p.m. kickoff. They must feel a little bit cheated. It looks like a tight game, a tightish game. Yeah. I mean, 13 shots for an away game for Rotherham. That had covered about 7 games last season. It was, because that's how bad we were. But obviously, Steve Evans has got a lot to think about as far as team selection concerned, as far as tactics are concerned, because they had 2 sitting midfielders. That's Teehee and Odoffin in the team. 2 sort of like defensive midfielders. I just can't understand why. I don't know if injuries were part of the team selection process. I don't know. But we've got 2 home games this week to sort it out. At home to Crewe in the Carabao Cup on Tuesday, and at home to a strong-looking Bristol Rovers far side on Saturday.
Yeah, they looked decent on yesterday as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they did look decent. Yeah, so I think the Millers fans that have started to say, who have started on social media saying HMS the league, I think they're starting to think twice. I think
it's still docked at the minute.
Yeah, it's still in dock. Yeah, but I think it's going to be a lot more difficult than people think. I think a season of consolidation wouldn't be a bad thing. But I've said that a lot.
No, and you said that, to be fair. You've been saying that all summer about kind of coming down and just kind of taking stock of what you've got, starting to build and doing similar to what Ipswich did in terms of building a squad capable of, I know they've pushed on and been promoted again, but building a squad capable of competing at championship level rather than kind of going up and struggling, coming back down and just yo in between the two. So yeah, you've said that all summer, mate, to be fair.
Yeah, but it's a really very disappointing start.
Yeah. I mean, it'd probably be more disappointing if that was a home game against Exeter. I think we said in the preview and the predictions video that Exeter can be a tough place to go. They've got that one stand which is all terracing, which is, I don't think I've ever seen it not full. So I think it can be quite an intimidating place to go, but that's no excuse, is it? You've just come down from Championship. You want to be taking points away from every game, even if it's just the 1 point.
Exactly.
I will quickly catch up with the chat because I've not been doing so. A lot of people were commenting that we had a bit of technical difficulties earlier on. Neil's said, where are we? Let's just skip out of the way. Let me find it again. Neil said that there was 1,800 Bradford fans at MK yesterday. That is some following.
Superb.
Yeah, especially for fourth tier football, it's incredible, isn't it? We've got Sue. I think we'll go on to Lincoln now. We'll put that up on the screen. Lincoln fan. Good evening, gents. Ground out a win, and our captain, defender, top goal scorer in the League One.
Top scorer. Yeah,
that's it.
Great win for Lincoln. That.
I think that's it. Like I just said to you, Ian, about getting points in games. Away game, you probably settle for a 2-2 draw, but pops up on the 86th minute with a winner. Can't beat it, can you? The football's back, and it's just been limbs in the away end. It's quite a tight away end that as well, isn't it? A little bit of terracing behind the goal. It's nice little ground, nice little setup, to be fair. But yeah, we had Burton as potentially in and around the mix at the bottom. They'll not be happy with that. Kind of,
I don't know, but I think they'll be encouraged. I mean, 11 shots, 5 on target. That's not too shabby, really.
No.
And they've recruited fairly well. That Billy Bodin was scoring goals in League One for Oxford last season, so a decent pickup. But as far as Lincoln's concerned, as far as Lincoln's concerned, they impressed me last season, especially the run they went on in the second half of the season, and it looks like they're carrying that on. So fair play to them. They've done really well, and that's a good start for them. Very good start for them.
Very similar to Donny as well. 3 shots on target, 3 goals. So
that's right. That's efficiency.
It is very efficient. We've got Finley in the chat as well. Absolute legend. Hello, Finley. Great to have you back.
Finley, all right, mate.
We've got John. Greetings, gents. All 4 promoted teams won. Are his stats correct? We've got Stockport, Mansfield, Crawley, and Wrexham all won. And John is a Wrexham fan, so I think that's a great place to go next. Jack Marriott's goal.
Oh, super! Yeah. Great.
Everyone's saying that Stephen Fletcher's is the goal of the game. For me, I think Marriott's, the way that he just kind of takes it down, creates that little bit of space for himself. It's it with the outside of his right foot, just bends into the top corner. Wonderful goal.
He's been doing it for years, though, hasn't he, Marriott? He's been doing it. Yeah.
But Wycombe, they're a tough team to beat at League One. They've always been a difficult team, and they've clearly gone to Wrexham with a game plan, and they've tried to implement that. Like you said, Ian, 13 shots for Rotherham away from home. Wycombe have managed 19 here. But I think this is a really encouraging first game for Wrexham. We mentioned it earlier in the video, in the stream, that last season, not counting Wrexham, shipped 10 goals between them in the first game. I think it was 10. I'm sure both conceded 5 in the first game.
I still think Wrexham's Achilles heel could be the back 4. and the amount of goals that they let in, because they don't look secure at the back. They will score plenty of goals. They will definitely score a lot of goals. But they don't look tight at the back. I mean, Wickham got 2. They could have got more. So I think that's an area of concern, really.
Yeah. Neil's dropped in the chat, and this is to do with Rotherham. Ian said that Big Steve Evans will get the Millers rolling.
Yeah.
Serial promotion manager, which knows how to win. So yeah, I think it's just it's a slow burner, isn't it, for Rotherham? I think with the amount of players that you brought in.
I don't think it's certainly not time to panic yet.
No.
Yeah, but if we're still in the city, if we're still losing after 10 games, obviously that'll become a crisis. But after the first game, a narrow 1-0 defeat, it's no need to panic.
No. And while we've still got Wrexham on the screen, John's back in the chat. He said, "Great pass by Palmer too. Marriott's going to be key." Completely agree with that. If Marriott's firing, I think Wrexham will do well this season. Wickham were better in the second half, probably deserved a point. And yeah, looking at the stats, relatively close game. Probably, if you didn't know the scoreline, you'd probably stick money on that being a draw. But take the win, John. Take the 3 points and move on to the next one. We've got Lolo in the chat. Wow, just got back. We're winning the league, and Plymouth are the new Rotherham. we will get onto the Championship shortly. I think we touch on Crawley. I think we're on the teams that have come from League 2, haven't we? Nobody expected this, did they?
Everybody's tipped for the drop, like they probably were last season in League 2, but they keep proving everybody wrong. And Blackpool tipped to be up there near the promotion places. What a result that is for Crawley. Superb result. Obviously, it looks like it was a close game, which I expected, but that is a fantastic start for Crawley.
It is really indeed. They've just been ripped to pieces. The squad hasn't from what went up. I think the commentator last night on the highlight said that only 3 or 4 players, I think, were in the starting 11 for the final, the playoff final against Crewe. So that just shows kind of the turnaround that they've had over the summer. And when you've got that sort of turnaround, it's a little bit like Rotherham. You'd expect a bit of time to gel, but there's not really been any sort of standout names that have jumped out that they've brought in. But yeah, fantastic result. 2-0 up in just over half an hour, and then kind of let the game play out. Obviously, squeaky bum time when Fletcher scores on 74 minutes. You, as a fan, you're expecting the worst, aren't you? The momentum in the game changes a little bit, but they've held out, got the first 3 points of the campaign. Good stuff. So I've done Wrexham, done Crawley. Mansfield. You wanted to talk about Barnsley Mansfield?
Yeah, wow. I mean, Stephen Quinn must be 147, I think. He's been around forever. I mean, when he was on loan at the Millers were still playing at Millmore.
Wow.
So that's how old he was. That's how old he is. But what a goal. What a hit that were to open the scoring for Mansfield.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a, from outside the box. Controlled volley, a brilliant goal. What a result this is for Mansfield. Again, people were expecting Mansfield to possibly struggle in this league, and they go to a possible promotion chasing team and beat them fair and square. I mean, all right, fair enough. I mean, Barnsley got a pretty lucky deflected goal to make it 2-1, but they rode the second half out well. And I mean, Mansfield fans must be in dreamland to get off to that sort of start. Brilliant result for them.
I think that's what you want, isn't it? If you've been promoted, or even if you've been relegated, if you've been promoted, you want to carry on that momentum and ride that crest of a wave and carry on. Kind of, you've got used to winning, so you want to continue getting those performances in and those results, and then flip it for teams that have come down. You wanted to try and kind of snap out of that losing mentality and get that first win. I think it's tough for teams that have stayed in the division in a kind of mid-table mediocrity to snap out of that and start to go on a bit of a run. But yeah, the 4 promoted teams seem to be riding that momentum pretty well, with all 4 winning, and the 2 teams coming up from the National League doing well in the first weekend as well. And I can't quite remember how the teams have done that have gone into the Championship. We will have a look though. But yeah, good, very good result for Mansfield. Equally as good result for Stockport. Not a bad finish from Louis Barry as well.
No, good finish, yeah. Saw the keeper off his line and did him, yeah.
Yeah.
I expected this result. I think Cambridge are probably going to struggle. I think we made that clear in our predictions. I think that Cambridge should, should be fighting against the drop. Not should be, but they probably will be.
Yeah.
And I thought Stockport will do well. I mean, I had Stockport very high up the table. I think they've got a winning mentality there that is going to be hard to stop. They're very, very good going forward. At the back, they can be got at a little bit, but going forward, they're as good as anything in League One. So yeah, I expected this result.
Yeah, I think especially at home as well. I think they might struggle on a few away games, but I mean, when they played us at our place last season, mate, I think it finished 5-1, and we just got ripped to pieces. They were fantastic. You could tell that they were, if they weren't going to win the Championship overall, they were certainly top 3 easily, and one of the best teams that I watched last season. But going back to their place, I think we performed pretty well and kind of.
Well, actually, I went to that. And I thought Donny were unlucky to lose there. They just lost 1-0, and I thought Donny were pretty unfortunate because they had as much of the game. But each game's it's start from scratch, don't you? It's 11 against 11, so anything can happen. But I thought Donny.
We could have had 22 against 11 at our place, and they'd have still battered us, mate. They were that good.
I think that was in the middle of Donny's sort of like awful start to the season, and I thought, I think it was around about September, October time, weren't it?
No, a bit later. I think it was Christmas time.
A bit later.
December.
Yeah.
December, so, New Year. It was just before we went on that good run. So yeah, thanks Stockport. You probably contributed to the good run.
Yeah, but I thought Donny played well that day, and I thought Stockport were lucky to win. But there you
go. Yeah. Huddersfield team coming down. One that's been tipped widely to have a positive season, and they started pretty well, didn't they? Against a team that are always in and around the playoff picture at League One, and to go there opening day of the season and
batter them really. I mean, it looks a comfortable win, and not many teams go to London Road and have a comfortable time.
No.
But yeah, I mean, I watched Huddersfield. Pre-season, it were against Guiseley, and they knocked 7 in that day, and they're looking really strong. Also, ex-Miller Ben Wiles getting off the mark goal-wise, decent finish from the edge of the box.
Jake's not here to press the klaxon. Could have had the first klaxon of the 2024-25 season.
I mean, that is a statement. If you want to make a statement, go to a possible promotion rival and turn them over at their place. That is a real statement. Yeah, well done, Huddersfield. Yeah.
And we were on the train back from London yesterday, and there were plenty of Huddersfield fans on the train, and they all seemed pretty happy with the performance. Very, very jovial in and around the disappointed Man United fans that were on the train as well, who seemed a bit happier going down to London than coming home. But yeah, Huddersfield fans seem pretty happy. Are there any other games that you want to touch on in League One?
Just to touch on, I mean, Bolton, good win for them at Leyton Orient. Possibly expected, but a lot tighter than you thought it would be. They just managed to get the odd goal of 3 against a pretty strong Leyton Orient lineup. So that's a good result for Ian Evatt. And Dion Charles scoring again. He's a little bit prolific in this division.
He is, yeah.
Decent result for him. I mean, any away win on game match day one is superb. So yeah, they'll be very happy with that.
Do you think this will be the season for Bolton? I know it's very early to say. We had them in and around it, didn't we?
They'll be there or thereabouts. They always are. They're too strong not to be. But I think, I honestly do think if they don't get automatic promotion, that they'll bottle the playoffs again. I do, because I think he's got to be aiming for top 2 this time, Evan.
Yeah,
rather than the playoffs. Yeah,
too much of a lottery, the playoffs, isn't it?
It is really,
yeah. Anthony's in the chat. He said time and time again, have a shot from outside the box and see what happens. Yeah, we've seen plenty of goals this weekend going in. This league's easy. Who said it was hard? Good passing and counter-attacking that I haven't seen in such a long time. I think we'll screenshot that for later on in the season.
I think I'd warn against overconfidence. Put it that way. That's what it
There's 45 games left. And John said, surely we've got to mention Birmingham. I think we have.
Well, you know what I said earlier on about HMS beat the league?
Yeah, this one's still docked as well.
Exactly. Well, I think probably might have tempered the overconfidence of some blue noses there. They only got out of jail through a very, very late penalty, and Alfie May's off the mark. Yeah. The penalty decision itself, it could have gone either way.
Yeah, I think
really have gone either way.
Reading are one of them teams, aren't they? I think with their off-field issues over the last couple of years, it's difficult to say that they're going to do well and be up in that playoff picture, or if they're going to struggle and be chasing. It's such a tough team to call. I think they've obviously got the fan base, they've got the stadium, they've got the infrastructure to be a bigger team than what they currently are, or in a higher position than what they are at the minute.
When you consider that all the points deductions that they got last season, they did exceptionally well.
Yeah,
they did really well.
So if stay away from them this season, I think it could be a good one for them.
Yeah, exactly, and they've got some really good players. I mean, I rate Lewis Wing in centre mid. I think he's a very good player. Birmingham, yeah, exactly. Because of the reputation and because they're everybody's promotion favourites, they'll be everybody's cup final.
Yeah,
teams will be over motivated when they play Birmingham. If that's a good or bad thing, I don't know. But
it's good for the other team, bad for Birmingham, I think.
Yeah, I don't think Birmingham will have it as easy as their support thinks it's going to be. Let's put it that way. Yeah,
I'd agree with that. We've said it already. The table means absolutely nothing. We'll have a quick look. Just for Anthony. There you go, mate. Huddersfield.
Yeah.
Stop the count. Donny are first, Huddersfield are first. We'll leave it there. Season's done and dusted. Stockport in second. Lincoln in third. Wrexham in fourth. Bolton in fifth. Mansfield in sixth. So Crawley in seventh. But yeah, this is going to settle down in 10 games. Don't worry about it, Ian. It will change.
Oh, we're staying up. We're staying up.
Means absolutely nothing. Moving on to the Championship. Where do we start on the Championship? I think.
Well, I'd like to start at Ellen Road, if I may.
That's the game of the weekend for me. I think Leeds Portsmouth.
Absolutely, the game of the weekend. Some superb strikes, end to end. And I think if I were a Pompey fan, having just gone up from League One, I'd be absolutely delighted with a point at Ellen Road, because late on they nearly lost it.
Yeah.
Because there were when Leeds equalised, Leeds had a really, really good chance to win it, and they didn't take it. It looks like a massacre there, stats wise. Well, you've got to stay
they should have been out of sight in 10, 15 minutes, shouldn't the Leeds?
I think they hit the crossbar twice, didn't they?
3.
The thing is, if you stay in the game, regardless of whether you're getting battered or not, there's always a chance that you can score a goal at the other end. And we talk about efficiency. 4 shots on target and 3 of them end up in the back of the net.
Away from home
That's
as well.
pretty good. And didn't you see? I mean, I'm not saying arrogance, but the confidence of Callum Lang when he put that penalty away. It was just almost arrogant the way he took it.
Yeah, that's some
bottle in it. Some bottle.
It is indeed. I've got a question in the chat. Skipped away from it. Will there be a match day vlog for the Doncaster match yesterday? Unfortunately not, because I was down in London. Can't be in 2 places at once.
Adam Gittins has done one.
He has.
Adam Gittins has done one. Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you go, it's just Adam Gittins, isn't it? Has he got a channel name? Yeah. If you search Adam Gittins on YouTube or search Doncaster versus Accrington match day vlog, he's put one up and it is decent.
Adam's vlogs are very, very good.
Yeah. So yeah, game of the day by far, nice and easy.
Yeah.
Another team to come up and do well, Oxford, a team that we didn't think were going to particularly do well at all this season, did we? And fairly efficient in their opening game against a Norwich team that we expect to be up in and around it, I'd say. Yeah,
I'd say they'll be top half, definitely. But to be honest with you, I mean, that is a fantastic start for Oxford. And I've always rated Brannigan. I mean, even when he was in League One, I thought he was a standout midfielder for him. And standout midfielder for the league that we're in. And he's sort of like continued that into the Championship. Well, for the first game anyway. And take my hat off to Oxford. That's something to build on. 3 points in your first game when you're expected to struggle. It's like gold. It's gold dust for them. Yeah. Very, very good start.
Yeah. And then the other team that came up, Pompey, Oxford. Where are they? Derby. There we go. Not a great day for Derby. Sammy Szmodics, mate. We've waxed lyrical about Sammy Szmodics over the weeks of doing this live stream. Is he still going to be a Blackburn Rovers player come the end of the window?
I doubt it.
I'm on the same page as you.
I think Ipswich are very, very interested in him, and you can see why. I mean, the guy comes off the bench in the middle of the second half, gets a goal and an assist. I mean, the guy makes things happen. His finishing is second to none. His positional play and also his intelligence is different level, especially for Championship level. But yeah, I mean, another team that we tipped that were going to struggle this season, Blackburn Rovers. That's a way to answer them, isn't it? Really? I mean, they looked extremely
we tipped them though because we don't expect Szmodics to be there. And
but one man doesn't make a squad.
Yeah, I think you take Szmodics out of this team, and it's still got ability in there. It's still got quality, but like I say, he's just that bit extra that I think if they are backs against the walls in a game or struggling, I think he's got that bit of magic in him, hasn't he, to create something or even put it in back at net.
As far as Derby are concerned, they didn't look bad going forward, to be honest with you. I watched this game and I thought Derby going forward looked more than a bit useful, especially with Mendes lying and they're a threat from set pieces, as both the goals came from set pieces. The thing is with Derby, I mean, there's a player there that's had rave reviews, and that's that Cashin, that centre back, and he looked like a little boy lost.
Yeah,
I know all defenders have games like that on occasions, but it's a little bit worrying when it's the first game in a higher division, because they're going to get a lot
a couple of games to settle in and get used to the pace of it. I like what Nathan's put. Things Donny Rovers are going to win. League Two, Manager of the Year, Goal of the Season, Top Goal Scorer, the Fashion Awards, BAFTAs, Oscars, Eurovision. Missed anything? It's confident we're going to have a very positive season in and out of football.
Yeah.
Right.
What's he going to say when they get
dumped
out? What's he going to say if they get dumped out of the Carabao at Salford?
We don't want the Carabao. Mickey Mouse trophy, that one. We've got Around the Grounds is in the chat. He has been to Sheffield Wednesday today, which is why he's not on the stream. So I think that's the best place to go next. Damaging for Wayne Rooney, isn't it? But Lee saying the Owls were brilliant this afternoon, dominated Plymouth, and the boy Ingleson, wow. So Lee, if you want to give us a little bit more on the game today, obviously the scoreline says it itself, the stats as well.
Look at the stats. Oh, wow.
Absolute battering, and this is not good for Wayne Rooney, is it?
That's a battering to end them all, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean, Wednesday finished the season very strongly. They've added quality. They've got Roll to sign a new contract. The only way is up. I don't think they'll be anywhere near the bottom half of the table this season, but I said so on the preview show. Yeah. With performances like that, if he can build on that and get a lot of points early, who knows where it can take him? Because they've certainly got a fan base that will absolutely get behind the team 110% if things go well. Hats off to them. Hats off to Wednesday. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, great performance. I mean, Neil's already put bye Wayne. ATID put his comments earlier in the video saying that he thinks that Plymouth will be down before the Christmas decorations are up. Wayne Rooney, we were talking about it before we came live, that not all great players, and Wayne Rooney was a great player in my opinion. They don't always cross over and be good managers or good coaches. I think Wayne's a good example of that. I mean, said Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard, another couple of names that jumped to mind.
Well, I was going back to Bobby Moore and Bobby Charlton. They made really poor managers, but they were absolutely superb footballers. So it doesn't always equate that a great player is going to make a great manager. In fact, on very few occasions, I think the standout one for me is Beckenbauer. You know, a world-class player and a world-class coach too. But that's very, very, that's very rare.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Lee said Plymouth were poor, but don't let anyone take away that performance today. We were first to everything. 29,000 in there. Yeah, it's bouncing when Hillsborough's full. It's a good place to be, isn't it?
And extremely intimidating for opposition players there, without a doubt, if things are going well.
And I think that shows as well. 29,000 turning out. I think there were about 1,200 Plymouth fans, which is fantastic at 4 o'clock on a Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, this is it. It's about Roll kicking on from last season's heroics and seeing how far Sheffield Wednesday can go. And with a start like that, top's the limit, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got Luton and Burnley, 2 relegated teams tomorrow. The other relegated team was Sheffield United, who played on Friday, and they started their campaign off with a victory. So the high that Sheffield Wednesday have just been on from talking about their 4-0 win, this puts a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth because your noisy neighbours have also won their first game of the season. And
did you see that second goal?
Yeah.
Did you see the goalkeeper with that second goal?
Yeah, trying to play out from the back, trying to throw the ball quick into the midfield, and it just got cut out. And a lovely finish by his name's escaped me, by Hamer.
Quality though. It's quality in the Championship. He were at Coventry. Yeah,
but United look like the Sheffield United from a few seasons back. Last season in the Premiership, there weren't enough about them, was there? it was just like they were going through the motions. They knew that they were up against it every game, and just for me, they didn't they didn't apply themselves correctly last season. From what I saw, whereas it looks like that mentality's changed a little bit, and yeah, they look like they were playing for each other a bit on Friday
And
night.
also, I think in the latter weeks of the transfer window, they started recruiting some decent players as well.
Yeah,
which always helps because round about the start of July, they'd not signed anybody, and it was a little bit worrying for Blades fans. But it looks like they've recruited okay, and yeah, comfortably top half.
Yeah. John's come in the chat asking about Rooney performing a miracle at Derby with their points deducted. He did, to be fair to him. We've said that he's a dreadful coach, but I think for me, his record since then kind of makes me lean towards thinking that was a one-off miracle, and is not got kind of the coaching. I don't know how to put it. You look at Steve Evans or Neil Warnock, Evans is a serial promotion. It gets it all the time. Doesn't matter what club he's at. You know what you're going to get with Steve Evans. You're going to get a tough team to play. They're going to win points. They're just going to be robust and ready. With Neil Warnock, so many clubs he went to and avoided relegation or stabilised them or won promotion with them, and did it time and time again. I think Rooney's had a couple of positions now in different teams, and for me, he's not delivered enough consistently.
To me, Dan, I think Rooney is the reason that Birmingham City are a League One club now.
Yeah.
I think, because I think that his time at St Andrews were a disaster. And that's why I can't understand a Championship club like Argyle appointing him. It might be because it was, I think it was the Birmingham board, the sacked Eustace because they wanted the brand, the Rooney brand. And I think Argyle have done the same. Because they think Wayne Rooney's in charge, it's going to put bums on seats and things like that. But when he's failing every week, it's just going to go the other way.
Yeah, stadium's going to be empty, isn't it?
Yeah.
There we go. There's our thoughts. one off at Derby, we think. Any other games you want to touch on in the Championship before we round off, mate?
Well, another team that I tipped to do extremely well in the Championships got off to a fantastic start, and that's West Brom at QPR. We're Major hat-trick. Conceded early doors, but then proceeded to come back really strongly. And I really rate Carlos Corberan as a coach. I think he will get Albion up there. I think they'll be in the mix for certain. Top six to me, all in my mind, all but guaranteed. But obviously, it's a really tough league, the Championship. But Albion, they've got everything in place. They've got the stadium, the infrastructure. I think they've got the squad.
Been there and done it, haven't they?
And they've been there and done it. And I think they've got the squad to do it. And I expect them to do very, very well.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that one. And to finish it off, we will have a look at the table. We've got Chef Wednesday. There you go. Just for you Wednesday fans in the chat. That's a pretty good start, actually. We've got Donny,
Huddersfield and Donny.
Wednesday. Stop the count. Stop the season. Let me get off. We'll do it. We'll finish it there. Leeds smack bang mid-table after their 3-3 draw. And unfortunately, Plymouth hold the Championship up with Preston and Norwich making the bottom three. But yeah, we'll revisit that every single week, but it will settle down on match day 10 pretty much. To finish off, we are not doing predictions this season. So if you watched our prediction video, our table prediction video last week, you will have known that we've started let's get rid of that. We've started an EFL fantasy table league. Ian's running this. It is called, I think it's just 72 Review League, isn't it? Yeah, 72 Review League. So if you have got a EFL fantasy team, get into this table. There's no prizes. It's just bragging rights if you win. And
for fun, isn't it?
yeah,
also,
I'm glad there's no prizes because I've had a dreadful start. I'm currently bottom of the table on 25 points. Ian, you all right? Mid-table, fifth, 46 points.
Mid-table. I'm quite happy with that. I like mid-table thing, and also with the fantasy, EFL fantasy league, you can change your team every week if you want. There is no transfers or anything. You can just sort of scrub your team and just pick a new one.
Yeah, I think this is probably a better way of going than doing the predictions each week, because if we miss a week for whatever reason, if I can't make it or the full group of guys can't make it, last season we were missing weeks and then having to wait a couple of weeks to get the predictions in, whereas this, it's live all the time, so you'll be able to keep up with it, and it'll be running even if we don't do a show one week for whatever reason.
Exactly,
but Adam Gittins, early
league,
early pace setter with 83 points. I think I'm out of the picture already on 25 with that gap. What team did he have? Let's have a look. Meslier, Ayling, Firpo, Molyneux got him his points.
And captain,
Lee, Latilaf, Jones. And then he's obviously got Donny and Chef Wednesday, which has got him some decent points as well. So, he's done all right there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Very, very good. So we've got Neil. Didn't know we had a league. That means that you didn't watch the video last week, Neil. Very disappointed in you.
Definitely enjoying it.
It is just called the 72 Review League. So anybody watching it, and you've got an EFL fantasy team, get joined in. I don't know if you join now, will you have the points from all your weeks, or is it just when you join? I don't know. It's new to us.
No, if you join now, you'll start on 0.
No, I mean if like Neil's got 60 points this week.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But he's not in this table yet. If he joins the table, will he have 60 points or will he have 0? I don't know.
Think so. I don't know. Neil, you'd be better off trying it and finding out.
Yeah, join it and let us know, and then we'll be able to. We'll know then. But no, get involved with that. And it's. Oh, he did watch. Thank you. He just missed that bit. So 72 Review League. Get it joined, and this will just be a bit of fun that we have a look at throughout the season, and hopefully I don't have to scroll too far down to see my name next week. We will see. I don't know why Jake or Jonathan didn't show up today, but we've managed all right, haven't we? We've made an hour out of it, even with technical difficulties as well. We'll take it.
But having said that, Dan, I think me and you are the most experienced members, haven't we? Because we've been in almost every show.
We have. Well, show not happen if I'm not here.
Yeah.
We will get that sorted. There's got to be a way of doing it.
I can't remember ever missing one, really. I might have missed one, but I don't know.
Yeah. But no, I've enjoyed that. It's a good season opener. Obviously, we'll get to know the teams a little bit more in each division as the season goes on. We'll get to know kind of patterns that are emerging, and we'll hopefully be able to talk about your club a little bit more detailed. Obviously, if we do one every week, we will end up talking about your club. Although I'm a Donny fan, Ian's Rotherham, we get Chef Wednesday fans, and Jonathan, the MK Dons fan. Obviously, we're playing your team, so we will have something to say about your team, and that's where the chat comes in real handy. And the more you talk to us about it, the more we get to know about your club, and the more kind of balanced we can be in our opinions and our assessments of your club. Because I think as a panel, we try to be balanced and as unbiased as possible, but it's difficult when obviously you're a fan of a team, and I think that's why you don't really do any vlogs for Rotherham, isn't it?
I don't do any blogs for Rotherham for the simple reason that I'd struggle with impartiality, and I'd prefer to go and vlog games where I am a complete neutral, that I've got no strong feelings either way on either team. So yeah.
And Neil's wishing Jonathan had come on with him being an MK Dons fan. But no, I think that's been an half decent season opener to get us warmed up and really into it. Obviously, Carabao Cup action midweek, and then we've got games next Saturday or Friday, Sunday, whenever Sky decides that they're going to be.
Yeah.
But we will be back next Sunday at 6:30. I think Wednesday kicking off early, so Around the Ground should be on. Jake should be on. Jonathan, Worko. We will see who we can get on. If it's just us two again, and I've got a bit more notice, I will put the offer out to other fans to come on as special guests, and you have an opportunity to talk about your club. We've had other people. I think we've had Birmingham fans on. We've had loads of people on. So yeah, I think we'll open it up as well if it's ever just two of us again, just to give it something a little bit different. If you guys are up for that. So having said that, any final words, mate? We've just ticked over the hour.
Yeah, it's been enjoyable, even though my team got beat as usual. But it's like I said, it's a nice bit of Sunday night therapy.
It is indeed. It sorts us out for the week, doesn't it? And that's it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, technical issues won't be a thing next week. We will see. But no, all that's left for me to say is if you've enjoyed this, stick a big thumbs up on it. Get your comments in the section down below if you're watching through the week, and I will try and get back in touch with you if I can. Subscribe to Ian. All the links to everything, the EFL league and the 72 Review Twitter account now, or the X account, everything's in the description down below. So head over down to that and check those out. But yeah, hopefully we will see you all next week. Have a good week, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you, everybody.